So one of the things that I thought would be pretty handy for teachers who are recording anecdotal comments is if they could use their phones to record anecdotal comments as they wandered around the classroom helping different students and conferencing with them. So what I'm going to show you today is a little way that you can set up a Google form to capture your comments about students, but the bonus part is going to be that you're going to be able to enter them by voice through your portable device. So it could be an Android phone, could be an iPhone, it could be a BlackBerry, iPad, Android tablet, whatever it is, as long as it's got some kind of voice to text engine, you'll be good to go. So I'll take you through all the steps and we'll get started. One of the things that you might want to have ready when you go ahead and do this is a class list. So you can see that I've got my class list here, all of my students. These are made up students, of course. And I also have subjects. Now, when I get this started, you'll see that you could decide to organize your comments by subject, by strand, or even if you wanted them just for learning skills, you could put them in that way. So I'll show you how to set that up as we go through. So I'll jump back to my students here and then to my Google Drive homepage. We're going to start off by making a new form. So click on the New button, choose More, and then we're going to start a Google form. Alright, we will just leave it blank, and the reason we do that is so that it doesn't take up a lot of space on your mobile device. So class comments, and OK. I'm not going to require my login to view this form since I should be the only person that has access to it. Of course, I could share the URL with another co-teacher or educational assistant working in my classroom. So I won't require sign-in. So my form, I've titled it Class Comments. My first question is just going to be the name of the student. So we want a quick way to capture who we're talking about. And in this case, again, to save space, we'll have it set up as a choose from a list question. Now this is where it's really handy to have your class list already organized in alphabetical order. You can see that I don't have that here. So I'm just going to highlight my class list here. And I'm going to go Data and Sort A to Z. And it put the students in there, so I'll just delete that row. And now I've got all of my students here sorted from A to Z. So I will copy those students. I just use Command C or Control C to copy all of them. And I'll jump back to my class comments form. And I will use Command V or Control V to paste them. And I will make that a required question. So my first question is done. It's collecting the name of the student. The second question is also going to be a choose from a list type question. So you can see I've clicked on the drop down list beside add item. And this is where you would put in your subject or your learning skills or your strands, and you can do it in a variety of ways, and you can change these up throughout the year, or you can have different lists for different subjects. So I could set this up. I think I just chose strands. Yes, I did. So strands. And again, I can paste those in. Control C was to copy them. Control V is to paste them. I'll make that a required question. If I don't like that, if say I want to do learning skills, I can delete this. And I can go grab my learning skills, copy that, add the item, choose from a list, learning skills, and subject. So now I'm changing it up a little bit. I'm going to paste in my learning skills first, and then I'm going to come back here and I will highlight my subjects. I will copy them, Command C or Control C, jump back to my list, and I will paste them in, Control V or Command V. Now if there's something I don't teach, I could certainly go ahead and delete it. So let's say I don't teach French, and I don't teach dance, music, or visual arts, and everyone is really thankful for that. So I'll say that's a required question. That's going to help me organize all these results as they come in. And the last thing that I'll add is just a paragraph text box. And this is where I'm actually going to enter in my oral comments. So I'll just say anecdotal comment, and I'll make that a required question, so all three are required. And that's essentially all I need to do to set up my form. The next thing I'll want to do is view it online. So I'm going to go to this View Live Form, and this is the URL that you are going to want to get to your phone somehow. And there's a variety of ways to do that. I'm going to use the Google URL shortener, and I'm actually going to grab a QR code for it. So I'm actually going to switch my capture here so I can show you what's going to come up on my reflector screen. So this is actually on my iPhone now. It should come up in a moment. Okay, I've switched over to my iPhone now, and I've got my different apps open here. I know that I'm going to use my scanner to find the code, so I'm going to have to switch for a moment. Can I move this out of the way? Can I do it at the same time? Let's see, there is my QR code, and you can't see that already. I've got my QR code. It sent it to my iPhone. Now, working from my QR reader isn't a great place to work, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this, and I'm going to open that link in Safari. Now that I've got it in Safari, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save it to my desktop, so it becomes a shortcut on my desktop so that I can use it anytime I want. So I click on this little share button, and I'll say add it to my home screen. It's on my home screen as class comments, add. You can see it at the bottom left of my screen, just above my email icon. So I'm going to go there now. And here's how this becomes so easy to use. I'm going to first choose a student in my class, and choose Dustin, and then I'm going to go to the learning skills and subject. We'll say I will work with collaboration. And now I'm going to do my anecdotal comment. So if you look down to the bottom left of the space bar, you will see a microphone button. And depending on the device you're using, whether it's Android or Apple or whatever it is, you might find some kind of voice-to-text button somewhere, some little microphone-looking thing. It might be in a different place or not, but I'm going to use that to say, or to give a comment, an anecdotal comment about what Justin was doing in class today. Justin worked really well with his classmates, even when they had problems deciding on a topic to study. And so you can see I haven't bothered typing that in. I've just gone ahead and spoke naturally, normally, and it has captured all of that and entered it into the text field for me. I'll click Done, and then I will click Submit. So I can keep wandering around the classroom and keep submitting those. I can click on Submit another response, go to another student, and I can choose another subject. And Natalie didn't have her science homework finished today. It's captured all that for me. Done. Submit. Okay, I'm going to leave this now because I think you can see how it's working on my mobile device, and I'm going to switch back to my desktop to show you how these kinds of things can be organized. So there was my live form. Here's the editable form. Here's where I can view the responses. Now, right now I've only got the 2 responses in here, but you can see how it can be very useful for me as a teacher. Number 1, things are timestamped, so when they happened. Number 2, I've got the names of the students. I've got the learning skill, subject, strand, however you want to organize that. And then I've got the anecdotal comment. And if I want to resize this column, I can go ahead and do that. and I can turn on text wrapping so it won't take up too much space. One of the things that you'll see up on your toolbar is this filter view, and I'm going to turn that on. And one of the things that you can see now is that I can begin to filter by subject area or by student. So if I just want Justin's comments, I can clear everybody and select just Justin. Okay, if I want everybody back, then I can select that. If I want just the science comments, I can have just those show up. Now, big deal, right? Because this is a very small spreadsheet. I'm going to turn the filter view off so we get everything back again. The next thing I'll do is I'll just pull up an example of another spreadsheet that I've done this with, but I've gone to a text generator to fill it in so you can see how it works with a really large spreadsheet. So this is another spreadsheet that I set up to do this and demo it with, and I've just used various lorem ipsum generators to create all kinds of crazy text in here, so please don't pay attention to that. But what I will do is turn on the filter view. And the nice thing about reporting time is that I can narrow this down either by subject, and let's just say I want to look at math now, and see all of my students and all of their math. Now they're not quite organized in alphabetical order here, so what I can do is I can sort that from A to Z, and so now all of my comments appear in alphabetical order. So I could go through and give those math comments for Amy and Christine, etc. The other thing I could do if I wanted to just focus on one student for a parent-teacher interview or something, let's pick my own name here, is I could go ahead, select the student, and once again sort by subject area. So that's a really quick and I think a really effective way for you to organize your anecdotal comments and observations. And certainly if you've got confidential stuff, you don't necessarily want to speak into your phone, but you can go ahead and type out the comment the way that you normally would on your phone anyway. In terms of security, the data is sitting within your Google Apps for Education account. So if your school board has signed off on that, you should feel fairly secure. Again, you want to pay attention to whatever restrictions or norms they have in place in terms of student data sitting in that kind of environment. But I think for most of our anecdotal observations and comments, this is a great tool to help keep them organized. So I hope you find this useful, and good luck with your own. Give me a shout if you have any questions or I can help you out. Thanks.